Hello students, today I am going to explain cell structure and function for class 11. Firstly, we define the cell. Cell is the structural, functional and hereditary unit of the body of all living organisms. Cell is a structural unit, that means the building blocks of the body of all living organisms are cells. So cells are the structural unit, that is a structure of body of all living organisms are made up of cells. Cells are the functional units, that means all the functions, all the metabolic activities, either anabolism or catabolism, ultimately occurs in cell. So cell is the functional unit of the body of all living organisms, and characters from one generation to other generation passes through cells. That means cells are the hereditary unit of the body of all living organisms. Here is the definition. Cell is the structural, functional and hereditary unit of the body of all living organisms, either plants or animals or microbes. Now we study the history of discovery of cell. The discovery of cell becomes possible after the discovery of microscopes, because cell is so small that we can't see the cell with naked eye. Discovery of cell is associated with the discovery of microscopes. Here, Robert Hooke firstly discovered cell. Robert Hooke saw a piece of cork under his own microscope, simple microscope, discovered by Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke discovered simple microscope and see a piece of cork under this microscope and said that it is made up of a number of rectangular compartments called cellula in Latin. After the name of cellula, he coined the term cell. Robert Hooke saw a piece of cork. The cork is dead tissue of plant. When he saw the piece of cork under his own microscope, then he found that it is made up of a number of rectangular compartments like honeycomb. Rectangles are called cellula in Latin. After the name of cellula, he coined the term cell. So first cell was discovered by Robert Hooke, but it was the dead cell, it was plant cell. First living cell was discovered by Anton von Leeuwenhoek when we discovered first operational compound microscope. Anton von Leeuwenhoek discovered first operational compound microscope. Under his own operational compound microscope, he discovered first living cell, that is bacterial cell, in a drop of pond water. Due to discovery of bacteria and classification of bacteria, he was awarded as father of microbiology. He also classified bacteria on the basis of their shapes. Spherical shaped bacteria are called Coccus puldulcocci. Rod shaped bacteria are called Bacillus bacilli. Spiral shaped bacteria, Spirilla, singular Spirillum. Comma shaped bacteria, Vibrio. So these are the four shapes of bacteria: spherical shaped coccus, rod shaped bacillus, spiral shaped spirilla, and comma shaped Vibrio. That means Anton von Leeuwenhoek classified bacteria on the basis of their shape. Then J. Jensen and H. Jensen discovered first compound microscope. But under compound microscope, we can't see all the structures of cell clearly. So it is needed that highly magnified image of objects are essential. When we magnify an image of object up to 5 lakhs times, then we can see the internal structures of the cell. So until the discovery of compound electron microscope, the internal structure of cell was not revealed. After the discovery of compound microscope, first electron microscope was discovered by Knoll and Ruska. After the discovery of electron microscope by Knoll and Ruska, all the structures of cell are seen clearly, and we studied different cell and cell organelles clearly. After the discovery of electron microscope, Matthias Kleeden and Theodor Schwann gave a theory for cell which is called cell theory. Now we study the main postulates of cell theory. Now we study the cell theory which are given by Matthias Kleeden and Theodor Schwann. Cell theory given by Kleeden and Schwann, Matthias Kleeden and Theodor Schwann. The main postulates of cell theory are: first is, all living organisms are composed of cells and product of cells. That means the body of all living organisms are made up of cells. Cells are the building blocks of the body of all living organisms, just like bricks are the building blocks of buildings. In the same way, cells are the building blocks of the body of all living organisms. Body of all living organisms are made up of cells and product of cells. Second, all cells arise from pre-existing cells by the process of cell division. No any cell can arise its own from non-living cells. That means all cells arise from pre-existing cells by the process of cell division. No any cell can arise from any non-living matters. And third, cells are the structural, functional and hereditary unit of the body of all living organisms. Along with Kleeden and Schwann, Virchow also added some postulates to the cell theory. Robert Brown discovered nucleus present in cell. Nucleus may present or absent. So on the basis of presence of nucleus in cell, the cells are of two types. First cell is prokaryote and second is eukaryote. What is nucleus? So nucleus is the central controlling and regulating center of the cell, just like brain is the central controlling and regulating center of our body. In the same way, nucleus is the brain of cell. Nucleus is the central controlling and regulating center for cell. On the basis of presence or absence of nucleus, the cells are of two types. First is prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are the cell with incipient nucleus. That means undeveloped nucleus. Undeveloped means nucleus is not bounded by nuclear membrane, and the contents of nucleus is scattered in cytoplasm. it do not contain any membrane-bounded cell organelles, just like mitochondria, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. Example, members of kingdom Monera, just like bacteria. And next type of cell is eukaryotes. The eukaryotes are the cell with developed nucleus. That means nucleus is bounded by nuclear membrane. Eukaryotes, the cells with developed nucleus, that is nucleus is bounded by nuclear membrane. It contains all the membrane bounded cell organelles, just like mitochondria, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosome, ribosome, plastids, etc. Example, members of kingdom Protista, fungi, plantae, and animalia. That means in 5 kingdoms of living organisms, only one kingdom, that means Monera, include prokaryotic animals, and all animals include under eukaryotes. So eukaryotes include the animals of remaining 4 kingdoms, that is Protista, fungi, plantae, and animalia. And prokaryotes includes only the members of kingdom Monera. So far we have studied the introductory classes of cell. In next class we study the different types of cell on the basis of shape, size, and then we study the structure of cell, typical structure of cell, ultra structure of cell, and the detailed structure and function of all the components of cell, that is cell organelles and cell inclusions of both the plants and animal cells.